Always exciting to have your company on our program just like today. If you recall, last week we were talking about a group of people who are perhaps, some say they're selected, some say they are relentless, some say they are able to make the necessary and requisite sacrifice as and at when due. We highlighted the workability of a group of people and we tagged them agripreneurs. Some say they are agribusiness people. But for a long time, we called them farmers. And we got to learn that it takes more than having a plot of land to call yourself an agribusiness owner. It takes tenacity, focus, understanding your soil. So in a way, we will say that they are a group of skilled people. We wanted to continue with that conversation. We wanted to make more meaning, perhaps to make more impact, and to see where you place yourself, especially at this time. That's why today we're talking about talents and skills. Are there people who survive on their talents and skills? Is there a difference between the two? Some say talent is innate. Some say skills are acquired and learned. What is important and impactful at this time is that the future belongs to those group of people who learn more skills on the daily and creatively harness them to bring success for themselves and perhaps for others. Welcome to Weekend Deal. My name is Thelma Obaze. We'll take off with a background feature, and Francis talks with Lami Ayuba. She takes us down memory lane when there was a time where, as you graduated from the tertiary institution, a job was waiting for you. She emphasizes that now, not only should skills be taught in schools, but how to translate skill learning and skill acquisition to earning something from it. Francis, take it from here, please.
If you are in Nigeria, you will realize that earlier, just pre-independence era, once you are a graduate, they follow you to the university with jobs, houses, and cars with good salary. Now, over time, everybody realized that if I read pharmacy, if I read medicine, if I read law, I'll get a good job. But suddenly, people started going to school. The graduates become too much, and then so the employment diminishes. So you have your degree, they say, no, for you to get a job, you must have a master's. Now with master's, you must have PhD. Now with PhD, I don't know whether professors will need a job. Then you now sit down with all your degrees, over 20 years in the university, you don't even have a job. You are even looking for a menial job to do, you will not see. Because I learned of a PhD that didn't wheelbarrow to survive. So it came to a point that, well, I can bake. That's the skill. But then how do I use my bakery skills to earn money? Because it's one thing for you to have skill, it's another thing for you to use that skill and apply it to earn income that will pay your bills and sustain you over time. Having a skill is just about 20% of the journey for you to be able to earn income. I went to look for loan in a bank. They say, okay, they came and saw my equipment, valued them and everything. They said, no, I have to now do savings over time, or maybe operate the account for 6 months. Then I ask you, somebody like me who is unemployed, Somebody like me who has daily expenses. Somebody like me who, at a point in time, I have 4 children who are going to school, who need money. When will I have time to go and sell my cakes and chin, come back home or go to the bank, save the money when I don't even have enough capital to even buy enough goods that will make me run my business for a week? One of the things that also kills businesses is that you just go and rent a shop. No, you must get a shop that fits the product you want to sell, located around your target customers, and then has a periodic supply of customers that you can at least give you a threshold of customers that will come and buy your goods to be able to make a particular sustainable income that at least can run your business. The cost of running that business just killed me. So I decided to now situate my business at home and just be delivering to shops that have other things that they are selling that attract similar customers. You have a small skill that you want to, you are doing business. You have small income, but your expenditure profile is beyond the roof. For example, there's no reason why you are trying to manage your buying and selling business. Every ashobi that comes in your neighborhood, in your tribe, in your church, in your community, you want to buy. That money is enough to give you equipment that will mechanize and automate your business. Some of them are just copycats. They want to copy this person. They want to, like, if I see my neighbor doing bakery, I want to copy, so I'll set up bakery. If I see my neighbor selling wrapper, tomorrow I'll go to Dubai. But can you create your own system whereby you get sustainable and reliable income and then also protect that money? It is important to start exposing children to skills right from the family, the home, the religious organizations, the tribal institutions. Then in the schools, it should be part of the basic curriculum from primary school to university. And the way they teach skills in schools, they need to upgrade it to teach the children how to earn income from that skill. It's very important. That is the gap missing in a lot of skill acquisition centers. They will go and teach you how to sew. They will teach you how to bake. They will teach you how to cook. You go to the home economics lab, you have cooked. But that's not enough. How do you make money from that? Schools need to expand beyond teaching skills. Teach them financial intelligence, financial literacy, management. With the internet, with the YouTube, you can learn a lot. You can learn how to cook. Like my daughter, she learned how to cook and became a chef from Instagram videos, from YouTube. She joined WhatsApp group. My children also learn how to do technology with cars, how to fix their cars with the internet. There is always a growth stage in your business. Plan to go and then be patient, incubate your business and save money for you to survive on skills. I used to have an oven and a mixer that if I want to mix like 50 cupcakes, I'll have to mix. Then if I have a job for like 1,000, I'll work for the whole day. But this machine will mix maybe twice in 30 minutes. I'll look at what I need to do, look at the speed, look at the capacity and run it. You cannot grow with your skill. You cannot grow in income and you cannot grow your small business without changing your character, changing your value orientation.
Weekend Deal today is captioned Surviving on Talents and Skills in Nigeria.
It's a very interesting journey we are coming to learn. It's not enough to have a talent. It's not enough to blend in skills that you learn. What is important going forward is that you earn money from it. You become independent and then you learn about management, how to invest, and it goes on from there. Still talking about surviving on your skills and talent, makeup artistry is something that has grown over time in Nigeria and all over the world. And young people, enterprising people are earning a living from it. As we go to Lagos now, we'll get to learn more. Lagos, what did you find?
In today's global economy, having the right skill is crucial. Having the right skill and talent, as well as appropriately utilizing it, can determine one's success. The Nigerian beauty industry is accelerating. All signs indicate that this business is booming. Lagosians love to party, and wearing the right makeup raises the confidence of the attendees. Makeup artists are cashing out now, especially those who are involved with celebrities. One of such is Mrs. Oluwakemi Oyeleye also known as Takentd. Her journey in becoming a big deal in Lagos started many years ago.
I started in the year 2014. After when I finished my NYC, I went to somewhere in Okota to learn that makeup. After when I finished learning, I started using my space in my house. I tell people this is what I do. When they have party, they should come over. I'll glam them up. They go to their parties. So from there, I start the business. I started it gradually. It was going well.
Celebrity makeup artists are in high demand. Takentd has been in the industry for years and has made lots of women beautiful. The likes of Nkechi Sunday Blessing are included. Her unique blend of product and skills always stands her out.
I create my own idea and I'm satisfied with what I have. Then I follow the trend, because if you are in this business, you don't follow what is trending. You keep doing old school stuffs. So I follow the trend. I know what is trending. I don't really relegate myself, maybe due to my age or stuff like that. So I go out, I learn more from people. I do brush up classes.
The makeup industry is always evolving with new innovations and skills. How do you hope to keep up with the changing times?
That is, if I don't relent, and which I'm not going to relent, I'll keep following the trend. I'll keep looking after what is in vogue.
Are there challenges in the business?
Challenge most makeup artists face, especially me, is the environmental factor. When I say environmental factor, location is there, then electricity is there. The area you are determines the caliber of people coming to you. But thank God for social media.
To be successful in today's world, one is required to have a combination of talent and skill. This is important for any industry. Learning a new skill is easier than ever. With the power of the internet, one can learn quite a few useful skills for survival in Nigeria. Learn a skill today.
Interesting. Although Olukemi is a big deal in Lagos, she's not resting on her oars. And that dimension to skills acquisition and earning from it. Update your information, update your talent, update your prowess, update your location. Because in a place like Lagos, there's a high level of sophistication needed for people to be coming to you to do their makeup, because they wear different makeup for different events. Ibadan now, that's what we're going to visit. And let's talk about a very talented person. These are vehicles. You know where we go to when they have issues. And sometimes you go to the same mechanic for the same issue and you pay money every time you go for that same thing. Is that a good mechanic or one that is not so good? But we hear about this man in Ibadan. For 25 years, he's been changing the story, changing the narrative for vehicle repairs in Ibadan. Ibadan, tell us more, please.
It is said that a man's strength and struggles in life puts food on his table. For Hamzat Balogun, who is 45 years old and has been a mechanic for 24 years now, there has been no regret on his choice of occupation. Hamzat Balogun wakes up every morning to go to work, except on Sundays, to work on the faulty cars of his customers. He has so much mastered the job to the extent that he has many apprentices, and those around him says he does his job with dexterity and maturity.
I've been to this workshop for about 10 years ago now. My boss is a very good person to me and the entire customers. My experience from Chief Hamzat Balogun Kazim is, without even install the machine to the vehicle, you know exactly what is wrong with the problem of the car. As it was directed to him, I get a little information about that. What exactly is wrong with the car is what exactly the apprentice we met at the car when he said the apprentice to go and check what is wrong with the vehicle.
I've known this man for the past 20 years, and due to his level of intelligence on this mechanic work, I've been bringing my own car for repairs and for maintenance here. And what is unique about Hamzat is that whenever you bring your car, it's going to fix it well, even beyond your expectation.
It all started with him helping in fixing a vehicle he was traveling in when it developed a fault. With the success he recorded in fixing the vehicle, he felt encouraged and decided to make a career out of it.
Over for 24 years ago, I've been doing this work and this same workshop, and people knows me very well. Before the diagnosing machine even come up, by the time we are talking about when we learn the work, when the car develop faults, when there is no diagnosis machine, we go through it and check. This sign, there must be the sign of plug. This car plug is welt. We started removing the terminal cable one by one to know where the fault is. That's how we detect fault then. Still, we are still using our brain. At times, you may get machine to fix to the car to wanted to develop the fault. The machine might not communicate. So you have to use your brain. This sign, there must be something wrong with this car through this aspect.
If surviving on skills and talent is an innovation, then Hamzat Balogun is one of the few in Nigeria that have carved a niche for themselves in this field.
It'll be nice to have people like that gentleman mechanic in different parts of the country, at least 10 per state, because sometimes the mechanics we encounter, that's story for another day. In fact, like our guest has done, perhaps we can all write books on the mechanic we have passed through. And it's time to introduce our guest to you. He is Professor Idris Mohammed Bogaji, Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education. Thank you too. So after this, we'll come to you. Interesting, a very interesting profile. So it goes without saying that he's going to bring expert knowledge to this discourse today. We welcome you to Weekend Deal.
Thank you very much, moderator. Thank
Excellent you. Profile we see there. But let me take it from the last bit we saw. The book you have authored.
Yes.
So, oftentimes when we go to a place, if you don't have a degree, people tend to look down on you. It starts with the body language, even the inflection in their tone. That's even masters, if you don't have, let alone a first degree. But you are giving us a new narrative today.
Sure.
Let's take it from there with the book you have put together.
Well, the concept of skills not degree is the slogan or the motto of the National Board for Technical Education at the moment. You see, when you have a degree without skills, in today's world, you'll go nowhere. Nobody will be ready to employ you. But somebody who has skills, even if there is no degree, he can survive. He can get employment elsewhere. He can even employ himself, just like the examples you have showcased. So for that reason, we are trying to change the psyche of the Nigerian youth to understand the value of skills. Today, globally, economies are driven by skills. Nigerian youth must therefore be upskilled, given the relevant skills needed locally and even beyond the borders of Nigeria, so that they can take on those opportunities. And they should not bother about really, they don't need to go through the university system. Because if you look at the products of secondary schools, only 1/4 get admission into tertiary education. And out of this 1/4, more than two-thirds go to universities. The remaining 1/3 go to polytechnics and colleges of education. And we have graduated so many degree holders in the country to the extent that today they are roaming around the streets without any job. Some are taxi drivers, some are doing manual jobs. While Nigeria needs skilled hands, look at the Takentd refinery. He imported thousands of Indians, skilled Indians, without degrees, without diplomas, most of them. He brought thousands of them to deliver that refinery. Welders, pipe fitters, etc.
Where Nigerians should have been
Nigerians should have been the ones, to deliver that. That is what we call the local content. The same thing with other infrastructure projects, the AKK gas pipeline. 5,000 skilled workers were needed. When we counted it the other time before the project took off, we always counted a few hundreds, which means the gap, we have to bring in, imported skilled labor. Go to Warri, go to Port Harcourt, in the oil and gas industry. The underwater welding and other skilled works are being done by Indonesians
Foreigners.
and Filipinos, not Nigerian youth. So we need to change the psyche of the Nigerian youth and even the parents. Let us refocus our training on skills. Let our youth be upskilled. The world today is being driven by skills. Nigerian youth are taking risks, crossing the Sahara, crossing the Mediterranean, ending up in Lampedusa as refugees. If you give them skills, they will be welcomed in Europe with red carpet.
They need not Japa, they need to be here.
The Japa will even happen with red carpet if they want Japa, because today we have a global village. So there is need for us to change the entire orientation of the youth, the entire orientation of the educational system. Let us refocus ourselves on skills.
That's where I was coming to now. Our background feature today, we saw an entrepreneur talking about it's not enough that we teach our young people about skills. We must be intentional about enabling them to interpret, to change that skill, or to be able to barter that skill to get money in return. You must be able to turn that skill to a business. Where are we with that? And then again, people have talents already. Ought you to build your skill on talent that are already innate?
Exactly. Well, in Nigeria, we have so many talents across, but they are poorly harnessed. Look at the electric vehicle. With this high rise in fuel, Nigerian youth have developed capacity to build electric vehicles in Nigeria. I know one person in Maiduguri who has built tens of buses that are driven by electricity, with built-in storage batteries. This is a talent. Go to Panteka, go to Araria Market, see the kind of shoes they are producing. The quality of shoes is just like those made in Italy. Go to Computer Village in Ikeja, see the kind of wonders they are doing with computers, creating units that are not even available elsewhere. Go to Apo Mechanic Village or the Mechanic Village in Ibadan that you showcased. Wonderful things are happening there. These are untapped, informal sector of the skill economy in Nigeria. And this is what MBT is trying now to bring on stream. We're trying to roll out quality assurance programs for the, for the informal sector. We're trying to engage them so that we can give them certification. If you say you are a motor mechanic, we will now assess you, assess your capacity, and give you the correct level of your skill. We have the Nigerian Skills Qualification Framework, which gives us level 1 to 9. So we shall know exactly what level you are. And if you are on level 3, somebody on level 5 would earn more than you. Because if I come to bring my car for repairs, I may even ask for an auto mechanic who is at level 5 or 6. I will not allow somebody on level 1 or 2 to touch my car because I'm very, I'm very careful about that car. So we are trying to formalize
this
the
narrative
informal
is
sector.
not new, especially about the mechanics.
Yeah.
When I spoke to one of your directors like a year and a half ago, I think about 2 years,
Yes.
he spoke of this.
Yeah.
And this issue with car vehicle mechanics is troubling Nigerians.
It is.
Because it does seem as though oftentimes they set about a business they know little about, but they must collect money. And when you use it for 3 days, it goes
Trial
back
and
again.
error.
You come again, they take another money. Say it's not A, it's Z. You pay again, this time double.
Yes.
And the story goes goes on and
yes,
on.
yes, yes.
So 2 years is a bit long, lengthy for us to say we're trying.
No, but
that part is critical.
Yeah, we are asking our polytechnics. Kaduna Polytechnic has now engaged Panteka. In fact, they are going to celebrate next week the graduation of the skilled hands in Panteka, the first set. Okay. Yabatek College of Technology, we have asked them to engage Arariam and Computer Village in Ikeja. Now they are standardizing the training there, the informal training going on. They are also introducing quality assurance. They are also arranging to give them certificates for their skills. So our polytechnic in Oko, our polytechnic in Nekede, they are also engaging those, other skill, centers across the southeast. So across the 6 geopolitical zones, our polytechnics are engaging the informal sector. This is something new that's happening in the country. Before, the polytechnics were just, doing academic work, basically. Now we are asking our polytechnics to move this agenda of skills, not degrees, forward by engaging the informal sector, by giving them certification. And the interesting thing is, the informal sector in Nigeria drives 75% of the economy. The formal economy is only 25%. If you go to other sub-Saharan African countries, informal sector are between 80 to 85%. So that's why we are now even networking with other sub-Saharan African countries on how to drive the informal sector forward, how to bring them out, how to harness the high potentials in the informal sector.
But there are those who are already on ground.
They are.
You are going to the schools now. They are already, the informal sector already exists largely in Nigeria.
They are.
How are you synergizing them under one umbrella?
Exactly.
So we can know A from B, Z from Y, and they can be, we can be intentional about knowing who is who and what they qualify to do.
Yes, at this stage we are applying the Nigerian Skills Qualification Framework. Okay. We are allowing them to come up, collaborate with polytechnics, get training, get recognition of their learning. We are not even giving them training initially. We give them what we call RPL, recognition of prior learning, whereby a mechanic, a master craftsman will be assessed. And we give him a certificate for the level of his skills. And then after a while, he can now engage for training to a higher level. All those below him will also be assessed.
Will this involve them having out-of-pocket expenses?
Not so much. We are trying to minimize the cost. We are trying to ask all the awarding bodies to give certificates at the cost of just 5,000 naira, not more than that. And the polytechnics will now take responsibility for the assessment. And once that is done, it will allow the informal sector to be upgraded. And in the next 5 years, we can start advising government that anybody who is a roadside mechanic who doesn't have certification, please do not allow him to operate so that he does not damage the vehicles of people.
What is the response of this informal sector?
What
are they saying?
They are very happy with it. At least number one, they are being recognized. Number two, they are also going to get certificate for their skills. With that certificate, they can move across the borders of Nigeria. Like if you go to Germany, they are looking for auto mechanics, or across Europe, auto mechanics. What do you call this? Panel beaters. They are looking for them right now. So if we can give them certification, they can get jobs outside Nigeria. And others can now come in and do more training among the younger ones. So I think this is a very important agenda. We are getting good cooperation from the informal sector because they have cooperatives. And we are already engaging them. And I think this is going to turn around the fortunes of the informal sector so that eventually Nigeria's informal sector will be formalized, just like in South Africa. South Africa has already formalized their informal sector. And this is a very latent potential, which we should not miss.
So Nigeria must be intentional, must be deliberate, and we should walk our talk. You know that we are Nigerians.
Yeah, I'm sure.
How to talk is one of our big skills.
Yeah.
Anywhere we go, everybody, even young children, can talk. We have prowess.
Yeah.
We have oratory power.
Yeah.
We've been hearing big talk. How well positioned are you to showcase to all Nigerians and indeed the world that this time is more than just talk?
Well, it's more than talk because MBTE is a regulatory body. So we have set up about 18 sector skill councils driven by the industry. If you take automobile, we have the NADCC, where Jelani Ali used to be, as a key member of that sector skill council. We have brought on board the informal sector on the sector skill councils. If you take building construction, that's another area where Nigerians are lacking skills. Go to construction sites in Abuja, you find so many of the tilers, finishers, POPs are from Benin and Togo.
Benin
and Togo, which is very unfortunate. But today, the Sector Skill Council, we have set it up on construction, led by COBON, the construction industry regulatory body. And there are others like NIOB and other private sector companies. So we have set up 18 Sector Skill Councils, even oil and gas.
Interesting.
We are setting it up.
We can't wait to learn more because this gist is getting so engaging and interesting.
Yeah.
And good thing we have our viewers who will be sending messages here.
Yeah.
When they send messages, I'd like for you to listen and to give them solutions. So hold your thoughts for now. You are watching Weekend Deal. We're talking about how to survive with your talents and your skills. But that is not all we'll be doing today. We have our citizens raffle and the team is here. A winner will emerge today. But before we get to see them, another break beckons on Weekend Deal. Stay with us. Weekend Deal. It's Weekend Deal, where we're talking about you and you and you surviving on your talents and on your skills. I was asking Prof behind the scenes that what about those who already have full-time jobs? Is there room for it to learn a new skill? But he will talk about that when we come back from Takentd, where a young, dynamic, enterprising woman who grew from working her mother's buka to attaining chef status today, such that cocoa spice is now a recurring decimal in Takentd, its environs, and in fact in Nigeria. Takentd, take us to her.
I started locally from my mom's restaurant. Then it was a buka before I got into school. I got into Uniport 2013. Then I stopped working for my mom. I lost my mom 7 days to my graduation.
When I lost the mother, she said, don't cry. She took over the mother's step. Today I can't cry over it.
Yes, I told my dad not to bother after I lost my mom. I told him everything is going to be fine. Then I was selling shoes and bags online. But I was like, this is not what I wanted to really do. My mom taught me how to cook, so why not just go and learn this professionally? Like the recipe I'm using now is actually my mom's recipe. I actually see what she does, how she put her things, how she makes her food. And whenever I make the food, customers won't even complain. It would be like it's my mom that made the food. That's how I knew that I've really learned how to make this food like my mom.
She now said, Daddy, I want to go in a big way. Have to go in for training. He got the papers and it was starting very small. Said, Daddy, I was surprised. Before I know, cocoa spice has gone to a big way to cook for many people.
And my dad practically has been helping me so much. Like that chicken you guys saw, he was the one that fried everything. He fried all the chicken. I attended CMK Culinary at Transamadi. I did an online course in how to edit food to post on social media. I also did an online course in food presentation and management. I came to meet my boss, Madam Sovis. I told her that I want to go full into catering. Like I want to really learn this. I told her my mom calls me Kokoma. I would want to use the name, like to open my business. So she said, okay, why not just go and register Cocoa Spice? That was what brought about the name Cocoa Spice. So I went to CAC and the name went through immediately. That was how I got Cocoa Spice. I registered it officially 2019 November. I started using it as a business, so the business started growing from that. This is where we are now. I use Instagram platform. I also use my Snapchat account. I also use Facebook. I also have a website, but it's still under construction. And I do phone calls too. I also use my WhatsApp. And I have over 17.5 followers on my Instagram. Just like you saw me when I was packing my food for deliveries, I also manage it like that. I'll pack all the food, I'll take all the orders online. I'll pack them and I'll give it to a dispatch rider to go and dispatch to various clients. We have several recipes, but today I'm going to take you guys on Rivers native soup. So come with me. This is snail, crayfish, crab, shrimps, prawn, pepper, pomo, periwinkle, palm oil, and onions. I also have my tilapia fish, as you can see. So we are going to start with marinating our fish. We start with the salt, season,
add my onions, my pepper, and I cover to cook. 15 minutes later, my fish is cooked. I want to set them aside. Next, put the crab, your crayfish. After 5 minutes, you put in your red oil. Allow your oil to incorporate. You put snail. Your prawns. Thickener. And you add your shrimps. I want to put back my fish. I took them out because I don't want it to be overcooked and I don't want it to get scattered. I want to add a periwinkle. This is my uziza leaf. This looks yummy and appetizing. This soup is too nice. I know you guys can't wait to try it. I know it's super delicious. So I want to encourage you guys out there. You need to discover yourself. Put in the hard work. Consistency brought me this far, so you need to be consistent and you will get there. From Cocoa Spice, bye.
Some messages have been coming in, and someone is asking us from Benin now. It says his name is Olume. He says, talking about skill acquisition, it's very interesting. Yeah. But I'm already over 50 and I've been working for more than 30 years. Yeah. Is it still time for me to learn a new skill so I can make money from it?
Sure.
Prof.
There is no age limit in skills acquisition. Whatever your age, as long as you are mentally stable, you can still go for skills acquisition. For young graduates in the polytechnics now, we are insisting they will not graduate with HND until they have a certification on a particular skill. So that when they graduate, the HND can give them a job. And if there's no white collar job, they can go and do a blue collar job with their skills. So, and even if you are old, you can still go and acquire skills. So I would recommend, let him look at his interest and let him decide which industry he can fit into. And then he can now go for training. The training is maximum 6 months. And you can get a certification for that. With that, you can come and set up on your own, or you can go and work for other companies. So this is the way to go. And I think I will encourage all Nigerians, even before retirement, please try to acquire at least one skill. Either a carpenter, a plumber, an electrician, auto mechanic, panel beater, whatever it is.
Really?
And then try to make use of it when you retire. Do not retire and just sit around and lament life. Move on with life with your skills.
Nowadays, it's not only those who are even retired who are lamenting about life, even those who are still working are saying that the take home is not taking them to the gates.
It's true.
So even while you are working, you ought to learn something.
Exactly.
But what many worry about is that, first of all, people hardly have extra.
Yeah.
They worry about what they need to pay to get that training.
Yes.
They worry about how to set up. Now I've got the training.
Yes.
Where do I start? Well, I don't have the requisite funds to even set up.
I agree with you, but that's why government has established Bank of Industry and other, the microfinance banks in communities. That's their function, to give you soft loans with low interest rate, single digit, so that you can be able to set up. And they are within the community, they can monitor you. And you can now, even they can give you additional funding to expand. Once somebody has the good intention of setting up, Nigeria is such a vast market. We have a lot of potentials. And we can find, a lot of jobs to do for ourselves. So I would strongly recommend young people, old people, to please acquire a skill. And at your free time, try to utilize it. Tailoring is another, fashion design, repairs of GSM. These are skills you can acquire without much money. In the MBTE, all our polytechnics engaged in the informal sector, we have said they should try to minimize the cost. And I'm happy TED Fund is assisting those 71 polytechnics to set up skills development centers. They are meant for people who are not even students of the polytechnic, who can come in and acquire skills.
Really?
And, yes, and get a certificate and become useful to their life.
Really?
So that's the way to go.
Okay, we have someone reaching us from Lagos, and they are saying, I love the way Prof started the program today. He talked about a very engaging book.
Yeah.
He says, where can I get a copy of Prof's book? Okay, Prof, you tell us when we come back.
Okay.
We're going to Lagos now, that Lagos,
Okay.
where we get to learn from a young and dynamic photographer that it's not enough to be talented and be snapping everybody. Oh, go to Paul, he will give you a nice shot. What is important is how can you translate that talent, that skill, and make money from it? Paul, how did you do it? Was it easy?
Paulo DJ is a young creative whose early self-discovery opened his eyes to a potential in the creative industry.
I started my business very, very raw. No support. In fact, I was squatting in somebody's house when I actually started the business. It came as an idea, as a skill. People will not pay you for your talent. They only clap for you. They'll give you have followers and likes. You want money in your pocket. You want the business to grow. And then people will pay you for mastery, being a master of that craft, of that skill.
We live in a digital world, and Paulo DJ's vast marketing skills play massive roles in promoting his business, as well as attracting online clients.
You need to start talent, start growing it, start having personal development, start going for trainings, and then if you are running a business with that talent, right, you want to understand business and also understand the digital space. How do you market that skill? How do you get clients online and the rest of them? But we did something where we're not beginning to sponsor our posts, pay for the adverts. So the last sponsored post we got over 7,000 views on that video. How much did I spend? Less than 3,000 naira. Imagine if I was selling a product, a digital product. 7,000 people saw my video, and let's assume just 1,000 of them bought, and I'm selling for 1,000 naira. That is 1,000 people times 1,000 naira. That's 1,000,000 naira. Within 2 days, though. So imagine if I'm selling the digital product. So they don't have to come to our office. They just click on it, they buy, you get the products, and I make 1,000,000 naira. You want to be able to maximize the digital space, and then you first and foremost understand it first, and then know how to maximize it per time. You may not have all of the money to invest so much to get celebrities to do engagements for you, run campaigns. Do the one you can do. At least boost inspiring posts. What I've been doing recently, I call it first series. So I went through my hard drives, and previous pictures I shot 2013, 2010, 2009, I'm beginning to repost them. And I use those pictures to create short videos, right? So I understand there's more engagement with videos. So images turned into video. You create short content, but it's inspiring. So I call them first time series. The first time I was paid in pounds. I took pictures of that. I created a video of it. I posted it. It's engaging. It's inspiring. If you go to the text, you will enjoy. You will clap for me like I tried. We're having a Badagry photo festival here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm also participating. So I took some of the pictures I submitted, created a short video, and this time around we're boosting the posts so that people can see, oh, I've got just such images can be bought in the world. Those that will appreciate art, Nigerian art, and they will buy.
Businesses run on online platforms have greater advantages. For instance, search engine optimization, pay-per-click, and Google Analytics are some of the available platforms through which businesses thrive in the online market. ODJ shares some tips on maximizing these platforms to one's advantage.
You want engagement. You want people to see your posts. Like what we've done, and we're beginning to do the more. When we post on our page on Facebook, we're beginning to boost the post. As the people are liking and seeing the post, you'll be seeing it, right? Oh, wow, 2,000 people are seeing it, 3,000, 5,000. So the more money, the more time, and the more money you spend, you invest. It's an investment, right? You get more views, get customers, establish credibility, understand the digital space, and maximize it. You do not always have to spend money. Cash is the least form of payments.
Suffice to say that digital market provides opportunities for businesses to thrive. It is therefore left for individuals to explore them in order to survive in the new economic reality.
The new economic reality states that you must be well positioned everyone who is engaged in one thing or the other is already situated to make profit from it. But how you strategize and move from point A to point B that is determined by you. And that's why Prof here has been sharing ideas, great idea. In fact, I call it the 4 Ps. Let your passion translate into the type of skill you will learn. So says Prof. Yeah. Then he says, when you've now learned that skill, don't be impatient. Come on, Peter. Don't be impatient. Peter must wear a toga of patience, right, Prof?
Yeah, sure.
And when you now wear a toga of patience, the fabric you used to make your suits are stoned with perseverance.
Sure.
After you do that, perfect your art. Make sure it's competitive. You can't just sit down, I've been trained, it's my passion. Okay, so what? How do you compare with what Ayo is doing?
Exactly.
How do you compare with what Peter is doing? You must stand heads and shoulders above the rest. Continue to upskill, upgrade, increase learning. Prof, take it from here.
That's the way to go.
But is this something that we often say is easier said than done?
Well, it's not so easy, I know. But as you mentioned, once you have the passion, the sky is your limit. And I believe Nigerian youth have a lot of very resilient and a lot of potentials. And by the time you give them skills, the ICT skills he mentioned, many Nigerian youth are now booming, moving across the world, giving services, earning a lot all over the world. Some of them without degrees or without diplomas. But through ICT, they have acquired the relevant certifications and skills. And their portfolios have grown so rich that big companies of the world are now inviting them.
Their names have become familiar notations, international companies. That's amazing.
So we
really
need to encourage young people really to go into skills training, wherever they are, whatever their qualifications, HND, degrees, whatever. Let them please go into skills training.
Let me take a few messages because they have been coming in. Someone says, in Nigeria, we have been known to pursue certificates rather than skills. This is because everyone wants to be like the Joneses. What does Prof say about that? But you didn't tell us where you're reaching us from and what your name is. Prof, what do you say about that? I was telling you earlier when you started, you said we should just go and learn skills. We go to a place, you are sitting with those that have PhD. And you just come in there, you say you have skills, you are coming, you are bouncing, wearing the suit of patience, the stones of perseverance, with big dreams.
Yeah, sure. Well, the point is, you see, Nigerian youth especially, we should realize the value of skills. You may have the degrees, and one of the challenges of our development in Nigeria especially is the emphasis we have put on paper qualification. For the past 60 years or more, Nigerians initially, if you look at independence time, the orientation of all our training was hands-on. Later, people just give too much attention to skills, to degrees. And that's why, we left the trajectory of industrialization. We are importing virtually everything we are consuming today. But with the skilled hands available in this country, we can be able to stop these importations. So I think there is need to change the psyche completely. Let us see the value of skills. And, it's not just acquiring the skill. Get a certification for your skill. Let us know the level you are.
Indeed. That is important, isn't it?
Exactly. If you know your level, then you can go for further training to a higher level.
Your level will determine who you are.
Exactly.
It won't diminish you.
It will not.
It will just identify you.
Exactly. And we have level 1 to 9. Under the Nigerian Skills Qualification Framework.
Wow.
So let's know our level of skills.
My hand is itching me. It must mean that I need to learn some skills, right?
Do so.
Wow. What kind of skills, Prof?
I will suggest, something of fashion design for you.
What about perseverance?
It's another soft skill. That one is a soft skill.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about teaching?
Teaching is a hard skill, but there are even new paradigms in teaching today.
Okay, interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So we have all that packages. We have a whole sector skill council on care.
Okay.
That's another area.
I'm getting my training now and I'm getting it for free. And I hope you are too.
Yeah.
Any word that Prof says, file it. It will be of good use to you.
Surely.
As we head to Kaduna now, there's something amazing we are learning. It's not saying that your qualification is not relevant, but it's saying marry it with something else that will stand the test of time. Perhaps you don't get that job you are dreaming about. As we go to meet our cobbler today, a very fashionable cobbler, a shoe designer, you will get to learn that he's a graduate of mathematics. But see what he's doing today and see how well he has become accustomed to creating fashionable pieces all over the world. Let's go to Kaduna.
Nigeria is blessed with talented people and natural resources to transform their ideas into finished products. Artisans are often able to make a good living by selling products such as shoes and bags to customers who appreciate their quality and craftsmanship.
I am a graduate of mathematics from Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, but professionally I'm a shoemaker. I had to travel all the way down to Culinary Fashion School in Lagos to go and learn how to make shoes and bag and other leather accessories.
Here is an idea of how to make a shoe and bag.
I will share with us on how we can do a basic simple slippers like this. So by the time you've imagined the kind of shoe you want to do, you take what we call the last. This is like the shape of leg. So rather than using the foot because it will hurt the foot, it's better you use your last. We have three parts of shoes. Now this is the first part, the upper that we've prepared. This is the second part, the insole that we've prepared. And this is the last part, the sole. So now we're going to put all these three together. Now we're putting the top. We'll turn back to the back end to apply our gum.
We are about to attach our upper and our insole to the sole to get a complete footwear.
After this is our shoe. We will use our hammer or mallet to hit it now. This is our shoe. It's ready. Now let's dive into bag making. You need to think of what kind of bag you want to make before you start designing. A bag generally comprises of 5 main parts. For some bags, they might comprise of just 3, 2, or 4. But for the purpose of this video, we'll be designing.
Nigeria is blessed with talented people and natural resources to transform their ideas into finished products. Artisans are often able to make a good living by selling products such as shoes and bags to customers who appreciate their quality and craftsmanship.
I am a graduate of mathematics from Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, but professionally I'm a shoemaker. I had to travel all the way down to Culinary Fashion School in Lagos to go and learn how to make shoes and bag and other leather accessories.
Here is an idea of how to make a shoe and bag.
I will share with us on how we can do a basic simple slippers like this. So by the time you've imagined the kind of shoe you want to do, you take what we call the last. This is like the shape of leg. So rather than using the foot because it will hurt the foot, it's better you use your last. We have 3 parts of shoes. Now this is the first part, the upper that we've prepared. This is the second part, the insole that we've prepared. And this is the last part, the sole. So now we're going to put all these three together. Now we're putting the top. We'll turn back to the back end to apply our gum.
We are about to attach our upper and our insole to the sole to get a complete footwear.
After this is our shoe. We will use our hammer or mallet to hit it now. This is our shoe. It's ready. Now let's dive into bag making. You need to think of what kind of bag you want to make before you start designing. A bag generally comprises of 5 main parts. For some bags, they might comprise of just 3, 2, or 4. But for the purpose of this video, we'll be designing a bucket bag that just have the front, the bottom, and handles that we can just use to shop.
As you can see, our bucket bag is ready.
These products being produced by skilled Nigerians has opened more doors for online marketing.
Marketing is actually taxi and challenging. I do market my product through social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. So we do both paid ad, we use sponsored ad and natural advertisement by social media. But one effective way of marketing that has been of help to us is the referral marketing, because we try as much as possible to give value to our clients and customers. That way they tend to refer us to also their own friends, 1 to tell 10, 10 to tell others.
This has opened diverse doors for revenue making. How profitable is it?
The Nigerian leather industry is very, very profitable. It's an industry I will encourage most of Nigerian youth to go into. Every average Nigeria uses 4 leather products in a day. Nigeria is a country that has over 200 million people. So there is a lot of opportunity in the leather industry.
University graduates are beginning to realize that entrepreneurship is the order of the day, and that relying on government for white-collar jobs may not be ideal at the moment.
As we watched our mathematics graduate craft those fine works and those pieces, Professor Bugaje said he would love to meet with him and own some of those his masterpieces. Amazing. Yeah. Also telling us about what the Aba people do and how they can innovate. Yeah, sure. You know, we do know that many young people we have chatted with on this program and off the program have talked about the challenges with getting requisite capital to take off, no matter how small. Oftentimes we say somebody is catering for the large scale and medium scale. The small scale, who is making them the most important aspect?
Well, I think government has made provision for Bank of Industry. But the Bank of Industry is largely handling medium to large scale industries. For the micro industries, there is what they call community or banks, which are not also very effective. And that's why we are recommending to government to set up an entrepreneurship development bank, which will be given loans, not very large amounts, 5, 10 million, to this skilled hands, entrepreneurs, so that they can set up and let the interest rate be extremely low. It's better than this trader money that is being thrown around. If you bring it to the entrepreneurship bank, it will be recycled, because that entrepreneur would be able to repay it back, and another entrepreneur will also be created. So this way, I've seen it work very well in Malaysia in 1990s, very long time ago, and it has created new entrepreneurs. China is doing the same thing, and that's why you see small industries all over China. Anybody with skills gets that kind of loan. sponsored by
like
government.
Kasim Baba, we just saw in Kaduna, for example.
Exactly.
Were he to get 10 million, you can imagine what he
can
would
transform
do.
his business. He will employ more hands. He will produce higher quality shoes because he can bring additional machinery.
Indeed.
That can produce better quality, modern equipment.
But you also mentioned something. You talked about a group of people coming together, for example.
Yeah, cooperatives. Yourself and your colleagues with like minds, with similar passion, either from the family or from your friends, set up a cooperative, joint venture. Try to organize, bring all your resources together, create the capital. And all of you should be dedicated to the project. With that, you can be able
to... while Kasim is doing the shoes, what else can the other members of the team be doing?
Marketing can be another one. Giving it a wider circulation, reaching out on quality control could be another, so that they can be able to improve with time. And, this kind of activities, they can even start thinking of exporting. The value of the naira is going down now. If you export it and you get dollars, the returns will be very high. So these are options that we can look at. Beside the banks, beside the government interventions, we can even join hands together and form joint venture or cooperatives, and we can be able to move our skills forward through entrepreneurship, and we can become, employees, of ourselves, and even create employment for others. This is the way to go. But
there's something that we must look out for in these days, when you are picking partners for your joint venture, do some due diligence, so go and check up backgrounds. Because nowadays, you don't know. It's not written on the face who you can trust. People take your money and they just walk away. Yes, indeed.
Classmates, dedicated friends, family members.
Yes, people that you know. Okay, interesting. We'll just take one more question before we wrap up our conversation. Okay, they're talking about the resources. You've talked about that. Chooks from Onitsha is saying, fantastic chat, Prof. God bless you. You've opened my eyes to amazing potentials that I have. Let me take this from Oshogbo. Najim says, I'm a fashion designer. The same thing we just talked about, but I have no capital to establish myself. We've talked about certificates now. Someone is saying, please tell Prof that I hope all these things he's saying is not just talk. Some of us have heard things like this before. You hope it's not going to end right here in the Weekend Deal studio. Prof, as we round off, so let's encapsulate all we have talked about and give the viewer a fantastic finish and a reminder as we go about their day today.
Well, surely the National Board for Technical Education is now having this as its flagship, skills, not degrees. We're emphasizing on skills of polytechnic graduates. We are also ensuring that they will not graduate with HND unless they have a skills qualification, so that when they graduate, they can have options. They can set up on their own, and they can, employ other people. But generally, I must also emphasize, you see, government must also support these young entrepreneurs. Let government invest like other countries of the world. I went to Rwanda. I found in their shops, most of the shirts were made locally.
Most of the
shirts being sold in Rwanda, made from our African fabrics. They have stopped importing shirts so that they can grow the fashion design industry. If we go to Bangladesh, Bangladesh is also one of the major exporters of, clothes and other, materials. So for that reason, Nigerian government has to identify those key industries, support young people to set up, ensure that there is some control in the importation so that we can be able to sustain those industries, allow them to expand so that Nigerians can be employed. We cannot leave our doors open. The World Trade Organization should not just, mislead us into opening our doors for importation of everything. We must protect our local talents, our local industries. We must find a way to get young people empowered
and energize them,
and given the necessary, financial backing so that they can set up and they can employ others.
I think
this is the way to go.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
We've been talking with the author of Skills, Not Degrees, the new white-collar job. He's not saying discountenance the degree, but he's saying you must upskill. Professor Idris Mohammed Bugaje, Executive Secretary of the National Board for Technical Education. He has a very imposing CV. I can't say it all, but we thank you for being with us on Weekend Deal today as we have tackled surviving on your talent and skills. The future, they say, belongs to those who are able to harness creatively their talents and their skills. But Prof. Bugaje lends a new advice. He says you must upgrade, you must upskill. Don't expect to make money immediately. He talks about passion, perseverance, determination. He says you must be patient and peer review before you begin to talk about profit, okay? So know what you are going to do, know your position, know what you need to learn, and learn more every day. Use social media to tell the world what you know. Get certified with your skill. And let's do it again tomorrow on Weekend Do, where we talk again about surviving on your talent and skill. From everyone here and the entire production crew, we say, God bless Nigeria. We can do it.